Hey, my name is Joseph, and I'm a beginner hobbyist woodworker with baseless self-confidence to post my projects on YouTube. And I want to change that. In this video, I'm building a project that will help me level up to become an intermediate hobbyist woodworker with baseless self-confidence to post my project on YouTube. This project features my attempt at designing my own furniture, walnut panel because I'm too rich for plywood, easy beginner level dovetail joint, also known as box joint, half lap joint, and whatever this is. Watch till the end if you want to know what this is. All right, let's go to my office. Let's go. I've been using this really basic sit-stand desk for 5 years now, and as you guys can see, I'm starting to outgrow it. I recently also got this new desktop PC, and I have nowhere to put it, so it's been sitting on this old coffee table that I built years ago. Bonus point if anyone can guess which YouTuber course this is coming from. So we're building a new desk that will fit all of this. I'm breaking down the desk build into several iterations. Each iteration is going to be its own video. In this first video, we're building the PC cabinet part of the desk, inspired by the Nakashima Odakyu cabinet, right here. You might be wondering what's a cabinet doing in a desk build. To answer that, let me show you guys how I design and break down this project. This is the draft design of the desk. I always use draft design to help me visualize how the end product will look like. It also helped me break down the project into smaller components. In this case, it will be the cabinet, the tabletop, and the legs. We're going to start with the cabinet. I spent a couple days designing this cabinet. As you guys can see, there's no face yet. It's going to be Kumiko panel, and I think it's going to be its own video. I break it down into two smaller components, which is the legs and the body. Now that we have a plan, let's start building. If you guys don't know who George Nakashima is, here's his Wikipedia entry. He designed beautiful furnitures that are valued at a price that only United Health CEO can afford. He's also probably the sole reason why some people think that the walnut tree in their backyard is going to make them a millionaire. And those people might be right. I'm the sucker who just spent quite a bit of money to buy this 4-quarter walnut lumber. I will never financially recover from this. The first thing that we're going to do is to take inventory of each board width and length. I want to cut the boards shorter because it's a lot easier to join and plane shorter board than longer board. I pre-plan my cut and I write it down on a paper like this to try to minimize waste as much as possible. This is probably when some of you might ask, why not use walnut plywood instead? Well, Nakashima didn't use plywood, and also YouTube loved walnut, so I sold my soul to the algorithm. In all honesty though, this is my 5th or 6th time using rough cut lumber, and honestly, there's a reason why rough cut lumber is a lot cheaper. Milling your own lumber is a lot of work, and there's a lot of waste too. If money is not a problem, I'd pay someone to do it. Next, I go to my jointer to face joint and edge joint these boards. I'm not sure what happened to this jointer, but my dust collector collected nothing. I need to figure out a better jointer dust collection soon. I left the board overnight before I put them through planer. Not because it's best practice, but because I'm tired. It's the next day and they are still pretty flat. Time to feed them through the planer. I left them out for another day because, you guessed it, I'm tired. And the next day, I cut the last edge on table saw. Alright, now that we have all the boards dimensioned and milled, we're ready to glue up the panel. For this glue up, we're going to use parallel clamp. We're also going to use F-style clamp and this 3D printed joint bridge. For the glue, I'm using Titebond 2 Dark. It's basically Titebond 2, but instead of looking like mayonnaise, it looked like latte. Also, some of you might notice that the grain direction is all over the place, and that's because I'm cheap. I prioritize getting the most yield out of the lumber over the log. Also, it's what's inside that matters, they're all walnut. The next day, I'm taking the panel out of the clamps, and as you guys can see, there's quite a bit of glue squeeze out. So we're cleaning those using dull chisel and cabinet scraper. I cut the panel to its final width on table saw. And then I cross-cut them to length using track saw. We have all the parts cut into rough size. This stack is for the cabinet, this stack is for the legs, and this stack is for the face frame. Let's build the legs. For the legs, I need to cut some components into same length. I just do this on table saw, and it's pretty easy to do with good miter gauge. For the half lap, I need to set up the blade height to be the half of the material. Instead of measuring the height, draw a rectangle across the width of the material and then draw two cross diagonal lines. The point where the diagonal lines meet is the center, like so. You can use a caliper or a combination square to measure the distance from the edge to the center, and then transfer that to your table saw blade. After I set the blade height, I need to cut the half lap. To do this, I'm using this Curvemaker jig. I have a short on how to use this jig. In short, it's the perfect jig for cutting dado without dado blade. After I cut all the half lap, I need to dry fit them. Now, the fact that I need to hammer it in for dry fit should be a sign that I didn't do it right, because this happened. The joints are so tight that I broke a couple of pieces when I tried to take them apart. But that's fine. Nothing that glue and a little bit of sanding can't fix. After that, I cut a 10 degrees decorative angle on some of the leg. Alright, let's build the cabinet body. The cabinet body has two types of joints. The top is box joint and the bottom is dado. This is my first time making box joint, and I think it's appropriate for intermediate level project. I use a 3D printed pattern jig for the box joint because I can. Leave me alone. Now some of you might wonder why I don't do dovetail joint like the original Nakashima cabinet. Long answer, I think dovetail joint is not that much better for the amount of effort that I have to put into it. But my honest short answer is,
ain't nobody got time for that.
The router left rounded corner that needs to be squared up. I use chisel for this because, well, that's what I have. It's fine for one corner, but I have 40 of them. So it started pretty good, but it went downhill from there as the chisel got dull and I got bored. The bottom of the cabinet uses rabbet joint, or rebate if you're a post-European. Whether you're a post-European or not, if you enjoy my rambling so far, consider subscribing. At the point of this video, I'm very close to get monetized, and I would really like to get paid below minimum wage for these videos. Thank you! I'm dry fitting the joints to make sure that everything fit nicely. At first glance, this looks pretty good. There's minor squareness issue, but we can figure it out later. Is squareness even a word? Next, I use the router table and straight bit to cut a couple of dado on the top and the bottom panel. The bottom panel will get 1/4 inch deep dado and the top panel will get a 1/2 inch deep dado. Just in case this isn't obvious, this is going to be used for the sliding doors. Alright, so I'm going to pre-sand all these panel necks, but before that I need to decide on what I'm going to do with all these knot holes. For the smaller one, we probably can just stabilize them using CA glue, but I have one big one where epoxy probably will be better. But I don't want to spend money for epoxy, so probably just going to cover it a little bit with the CA glue and call it a day. They're all going to be inside anyways, so I won't be able to see it. Well, that's all to it. Now up to everyone's favorite thing, sanding. I don't know why YouTube woodworkers hate sanding, but I think it's because it's very tedious and you have to be alone with your own thoughts while doing it. This is a great spot for ad read for that infamous online mental health company. But because I'm not sponsored, I'm not gonna give them ideas. We're finally ready to assemble everything. This is great because I'm running out of jokes to make, so I'll just tell you guys that I started with the Lakes glue up and it was pretty uneventful. After the Lakes glue up, I thought this whole glue up gonna be easy. But I guess I jinxed myself because look at me struggle to glue the body up. I'll be honest, after all that struggle, I did not check for squareness with this cabinet. It looks square and that's good enough for me. I hope this doesn't come back to haunt me in the future. We're really close to finishing this project and me leveling up my woodworking. We just have some cleanup and finishing left, starting with cleaning up these extra bits on the box joint. A couple more router work, rabbet for the back panel, and dado for the middle divider. You might notice here that I use birch plywood for the middle divider and back panel. And my answer to this is just, at some point you gotta cut your losses and use whatever you have on hand. And now for the most satisfying part of every project, finishing. In case you're wondering, I use Osmopolix Hard Wax Oil for this because it's really easy to apply. It took me a while to decide on how to attach the legs to the body, but I decided to just let Jeff Bezos solve this problem for me and bought the first thing that Amazon recommends. It's this figure 8 connector. Alright, this is done and it looks great from the camera 6 feet away. But let me bring you guys closer so I can show you the small mistakes that I did. Just to prove to you guys that not everything that you see on YouTube is real. So yeah, do you guys think I leveled up from beginner to intermediate with this case? This is the first part of the video. We're going to have other videos where I build the face and also the other part of the desk. But until then, thank you for watching and let's roll the beauty clip.